Good morning and welcome to the Employee Message December 21st. Today we're going to talk a little bit about vaccines. I'll give a little bit of an overview and then introduce Desiree and Madge, who will talk about details about what's going on with the vaccine we're going to have available to us, side effects of that, and myths and other questions that residents and employees have come up with. So we do have some good news. We do know that we will be getting our vaccines through Walgreens. We'll be using the Moderna vaccine that's now available and been approved through the FDA. And our vaccine clinic will be on January 5th and 6th. So again, I encourage all employees to really consider taking this vaccine. It's important to the health of our residents in the Westminster Village family. The better the participation, the more effective that vaccine is and that herd immunity within our community. We know we already have, I think, 189 or 198 residents who are ready to go and take that, which is a great start. But again, us employees, we're that critical missing piece as we're the biggest risk to our residents coming off campus. It's a great opportunity. It's one of those sometimes few benefits in our industry to be first on the list of something. Again, I just really encourage you to strongly think about this, take this vaccine. It's a game changer for our residents and their lifestyle on this campus. But it's also a game changer for you and your family of being able to get back to some normalcy. So again, Desiree is going to come up and answer some technical questions, give a little bit of an overview of how the vaccine works. Hopefully further encourage you all to get on the list, get your paperwork turned in as quickly as possible. I believe we need that all by this Wednesday, middle of the day. We will probably be in some of your staff meetings and see you at the doors to encourage you a little further. Again, it is not a mandatory vaccine at this point in time in Arizona or at Westminster Village. But again, I strongly encourage you to take it. I know the three of us talking today will be at the front of the list to get it so that you all feel assured it's safe, because we feel it's safe. Thank you.
Hey, Aaron.
Hello, I'm Desiree. I'm the Director of Nursing for Wyrick Healthcare Center. I've been asked to talk a little bit about the vaccine. I know a lot of people have some fears or some fear of the unknown, which can make something very scary. And I want you to know that I was one of those people a few months ago that was not sure she would take the vaccine. But I've done extensive research. I've been on many webinars and conference calls with Pfizer, Maricopa County, Leading Age. And I feel pretty strong about the safeness of the vaccine. So I'm going to just give you a little overview about the vaccine and how it works. Some people just might not understand. There's a lot of myths. There's a lot of things out there that people are saying that aren't true. So I'm kind of here just to give you the facts and to help you make an informed decision on whether you want to take that vaccine or not. So basically, to understand how the COVID vaccine works, it helps to look at how our bodies fight illness. So when germs such as the virus that causes COVID-19 invade our bodies, and how our bodies react. So the invasion is called the infection, okay? The infection is what causes the illness and causes you to be sick. Our immune system, our immune system uses several tools to fight infection. Okay, blood contains red blood cells that carry the oxygen to your tissues, and then we make a thing called white cells or immune cells. And those different cells fight the infection that's going on in your body. So you have three different white cells or immune cells. The macrophages, which are the white cells that swallow up, they're kind of like the little Pac-Man. They go around and eat up all the germs, okay? And then there is your B lymphocytes, which are white blood cells that produce the antibodies that attack those pieces of that virus that cause you to be sick. So the T lymphocytes are called the memory cells, and they go into action quickly if the body encounters a part of the virus or encounters the virus again. Okay, so when the familiar antigens are detected, the B lymphocytes produce antibodies to attack them. And then we're still learning about how long that will affect, and that's why the data isn't in for how long you are immune. So that's why they're saying that you have to have both the shots, and they're just not sure how long immunity is if you get the virus, where they're saying that the immunity will be longer if you get the vaccine. So anyone who has had COVID, they are recommending that you get the vaccine, but not for 90 days. So that brings us to what kind of vaccine the COVID vaccine is. The COVID vaccine that we are getting is an mRNA. That's M as in Mary, little m, big RNA. And that stands for messenger ribonucleic acid. And all that is that when you get that injected into your body, all that does is give your body an instruction booklet to make a protein. That protein is made, and then the mRNA it breaks down and it goes away. It never enters into the nucleus of the cell. That's where your DNA is. That's where the genetic material is. The injection, the mRNA never makes it to that. It just is an instruction booklet for your body to make this protein. They call it a spike protein. Those proteins, in turn, make those T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes that make the antigens and the antibodies for you to fight off if you become infected. Okay, so that's all the vaccine does, is give your body an instruction booklet to make a protein which makes those B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. And it's just like if you've had the flu ever, your body makes those antibodies once you have it. Or if you got the flu injection, it makes those antibodies, so if you're infected, it can fight that. Now, some people, when you get the injection, it's only 58% after one shot for immunity. You have to return 21 days later and get that second injection. That provides you immunity up to 94%. 94% effective, that if you get exposed to COVID, your body already has those antibodies. So it is in no way going into your cells, it doesn't affect your DNA, it just makes that instruction booklet to make that protein that will make those antibodies to protect you. So I think we can go to maybe some questions and answers. I know lots of people have the fear of the unknown. So we're trying here today, we've gotten several questions that people have asked, and we thought we'd share some of those questions. Madge is gonna ask me some questions, and hopefully we can get some clearer facts for you so you can make an informed decision.
Thank you, Desiree. And this is Madge, Director of Home Health and Wellness. Desiree, just a little while ago you said 21 days later. I thought it was 28 days later they come for the second shot for the Moderna vaccine.
So yes, the Pfizer vaccine is 28 days. The Moderna vaccine is 28 days. I don't know if I said that. And the Pfizer vaccine is 21 days.
It's my understanding that we're going to get the Moderna vaccine.
And that is correct. Because of the storage requirements, most of the hospitals are getting the Pfizer vaccine because they have the coolant for a negative 90 degrees. The Moderna does not require that, so that most long-term care facilities and where clinics that they're setting up will use the Moderna.
Okay, my next question is, does it have side effects? Will the Moderna vaccine have side effects?
They are reporting there are some side effects. Nothing abnormal than if you were to get any injection. You might feel warm and sore or redness at the site. You also may run a low-grade fever. Not a high fever, a low-grade fever like 99. What really you want your body to react that way, because if your body's reacting to that, that means it's making the immunity that you need for protection.
Okay, thank you. What we've heard on the news about complications, like something happened in Alaska. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. There have been a few cases of severe reaction, which they call anaphylactic shock. Anaphylactic shock is when your throat kind of closes off, your tongue swells, your breathing, you start having a hard time breathing. Some people recognize that if you're allergic to bees. Some of your friends or family, they might carry an EpiPen. If they get stung by a bee, they can go into anaphylactic shock. So what that means is that they need to give themselves an epi, which is epinephrine, to reduce that reaction. So I have ordered several of those. I will have them here on the days of the clinic, just in case anyone is to have any kind of reaction.
Okay, I know it's new, but I don't know, is this a one-time after the first and second shot? Is this one time that we have to go through this, or do we have to get it every year?
They're saying after the 2 booster shots that you are good. As we vaccinate the world and we find out, who has antibodies and who doesn't, they don't have that kind of data yet. I know with the hepatitis B vaccine, you have to get a titer drawn. If you don't have antibodies anymore, you have to get a booster. I imagine it will be something like that.
I'm assuming I'm assuming that I'll have post-COVID vaccine symptoms. Will I have to miss work because of those symptoms?
Most people that are reporting some fatigue or some slight fever with some ibuprofen or some Tylenol, those symptoms have been gone away, and they've only lasted less than 24 hours.
Okay. Now, one of the concerns voiced was that they were concerned about the short-term and long-term side effects that could be produced by the vaccine.
There is no long-term effects stated. There's long-term effects from having COVID. There's a lot of heart, a lot of lung issues. If you get the virus, that they're not even sure what the damage is going to be down the road. But lots of people are having lots of effects from having COVID. So right now they're saying any side effects should disappear within 24 hours.
Can I take Tylenol or Advil or something?
You can take Tylenol, Advil. I know personally, anytime I get an injection, I take ibuprofen. If you shouldn't take ibuprofen, then I would take Tylenol. Madge, they are saying that the side effects from the first shot are very minimal. It's the second injection that people are seeing more side effects. But again, they're saying the more side effects you have, the stronger your immunity you're building for the virus.
Okay, when does immunity start?
So they're saying 58% after a couple weeks,
And after the second shot,
94%.
is that immediate?
Within a few weeks. It's just like the flu shot or as the COVID. If you could have been infected before the immunization or before it had enough time to build the amount of antibodies you needed. So you can still be infected in that week or two. So it's still important to wear your mask, wash your hands, social distance for several weeks after.
Okay, I'd like to run some myths that have been publicized by you and get a response, okay? COVID vaccines have severe side effects.
That is a myth. If you look at the research, most people have just a very minor fever, low-grade fever, or some body aches and systemic soreness at the site.
I won't need to wear my mask after being vaccinated. Is that true?
No, you still need to wear your mask. Like I said, immunity doesn't develop right overnight, so it'll be several weeks as your body produces those antibodies. And then after that second injection, I would say a few weeks after the second injection is where people will still have to wear a mask because they're not sure on the transmission and carrying status. So even though you're protected, they don't have enough research yet to provide if you can still transfer or shed the virus still.
Okay. More people will die as a result of a negative side effect of the COVID vaccine than would die of the virus itself.
That is a myth also, Madge. There has been no clinical data showing that anyone has died because of the vaccine. There is a few people who did have a severe reaction, but they had also had severe reactions to other vaccines. So if you've had a severe reaction to a vaccine, then you might want to speak with your physician before taking it.
I'm allergic to eggs.
There is no eggs in the COVID-19 vaccine, unlike the flu.
I'm allergic to preservatives.
And there is absolutely zero preservatives in the vaccine also.
I don't want to be microchipped.
And that's kind of been a myth that's not too funny because people really believe that. But from what I read and the webinars that I've been on, they have said that Bill Gates was talking about a digital thing on his phone, like if you were, like once you test negative, or it's like you can scan, so like in airports and stuff, you can prove you've had the vaccine or that you're negative. There was never any mention about putting a microchip into a vaccine.
I'm allergic to some medications, and I have kidney stones and I'm diabetic. Should I take the vaccine?
Absolutely. There is no allergies to any meds that prevent you from taking the vaccine. The only thing would be is if you've had a severe allergic reaction to an injection before.
Thank you, Desiree.
You're welcome. Any other questions? So the bottom line is getting vaccinated is one of the many ways that you can take to protect yourself and others from COVID-19. Protection from COVID is critically important because of some people, it can cause severe illness and death. Stopping a pandemic requires using all the tools available. Vaccines work with your immune system, so your body will be ready to fight the virus if you're infected. So please, look at the data. You can contact Madge or myself or Elva. Any of us can answer any of your questions. If you just are fearful and you need some guidance, or you have some other questions that you didn't feel comfortable asking, please reach out to us. And hope to see you in line on Wednesday or on January 5th.
Well, thank you, Madge and Desiree, for that. Again, employees, thank you all for the commitment you've made to keeping the Westminster Village family safe over the last almost year now. Again, this is one more big ask of us, and that is we need to continue doing what we've been doing to keep the Westminster Village family safe. I know that's going to be hard with Christmas coming, but again, wear your mask, wear your shields, do the social distancing, keep that social circle small for just a little while longer. And again, really consider taking the vaccine for yourself, for your family, for the Westminster Village family. It is that next piece that we need to do to keep our campus safe. And again, I have a lot of faith that we will have a great turnout from our employees. As Desiree had said, a call to her or a call to Madge, something on the Paycom suggestion box. We'll try to get all those questions answered and have more information coming out in the days to come. Thank you very much.